Hello everyone. The topic that we are going to discuss today is Boston Consulting Group Matrix or BCG Matrix. So Boston Consulting Group is an organization which developed BCG Matrix. So BCG Matrix helps organizations to determine out of their portfolio or group of strategic business units or product lines, which strategic business unit or product line they should focus more on and which strategic business unit or product line they should divest or liquidify. Okay, so Boston Consulting Group Matrix is also called as Boston Consulting Group Analysis, Growth Share Matrix, the Boston Box, or the Product Portfolio Matrix. Okay, so BCG Matrix is a tool for organizations to determine which strategic business unit or which product line is doing well and on which product line or SBU they should focus more, and on which product line and SBU they should not invest further, or they should not waste more energy. So all the big organizations have various strategic business units or product lines. Okay, one or more product lines. So all the strategic business units or all the product lines will do equally well is not possible or may not be the scenario. So this BCG Matrix as a tool helps organization determine which of the strategic business unit is doing well, or which product line is doing well, or which strategic business unit or product line is not doing as well, and on which SBU or product line they should focus more energy, and on which SBU or product line they should not focus as much energy. So when we are plotting these BCG matrix, there are two main variables which help us plot the BCG matrix. They are relative market share and market growth rate. These two are the basic variable, the important variable which help us plot the BCG matrix. So the main purpose of BCG matrix is therefore to make investment decision on the corporate level. Okay, so investment decision depending on how their strategic business units are doing or product lines are doing. If a strategic business unit or product line is not doing as well, then there is no point investing more money or more energy in those SBUs or product lines, right? So BCG matrix helps organization in determining where they can use their scarce resources in. So this is the framework of a basic matrix, any matrix. So how this matrix becomes a BCG matrix is when these two variables, that is relative market share and growth rate, is added. Okay, so relative market share can have two scenarios. So the relative market share can either be high or low for an organization, for a product or for a strategic business unit. Same, market growth can either be high or low for a product or a strategic business unit. So now let's discuss these two factors in detail. Relative market share. We know the meaning of market share. Market share is the occupancy of the organization in a market. That is how much market has been occupied by a product, or how much market has been occupied by a strategic business unit. That is our market share. Okay, for a product, how many customers are there in a market? Okay, that becomes your market share. What is relative market share then? Relative market share means that market share in relation to something, market share in relation to the largest competitor of that organization. Okay, so relative market share is the market share of an organization in relation or in comparison to the largest competitor. So here let's take an example and understand it better. Let's take a hypothetical example, Samsung and Apple. Samsung has 20% market share and Apple has 60% market share. Why we are taking Apple here is because we have assumed that the largest competitor of Samsung is Apple. So when Samsung is having a market share of 20%, Apple is having a market share of 60%, we need to calculate what is the relative market share of Samsung. So this is the formula that we are going to use, that is market share of the focal company, here Samsung, divided by market share of the largest competitor, here Apple. Okay, so let's do it. So the market share of Samsung, the market share of Apple, this comes out to be 1/3, that is 1:3 ratio, which is very low for this relative market share is low for Samsung. Okay, so Samsung has a relatively low market share. Now let's take another example. Suppose Samsung has 60% market share and its largest competitor Apple has 20% market share. We are not going to do this on the basis of organizations. We are going to do this on the basis of products. Okay, so because the BCG matrix tells us whether out of a product portfolio or whether out of a portfolio of this strategic business unit, which product is doing well or which strategic business is doing well. So here don't get confused that we are doing it for entire organization. We can do it for any mobile. Okay, and same for Apple mobile. So market share of Samsung mobiles are 20% and 60%. Okay, same here, cell phones. Okay, so let's take another example. So 60 divided by 20, so we get a ratio of 3:1, that is high relative market share. Okay, so the assumption in this framework is that an increase in the relative market share will result in increase in the generation of cash, because if the market share is large, big, then the customers are high, number of customers are high, and we are going to produce a large amount of cash flow from those customers, inward cash flow from those customers. Okay, so okay, now that we have understood what is relative market share, let's understand what is market growth rate. So market share will tell you what is the current business that you are getting from the market, and market growth rate will tell you what is the future of business that you are going to get from a product or a strategic business unit. Because market share is telling you what is the current position of your product or strategic business unit, how much money is flowing in because of the market share. Market growth rate will tell you what will be the future of these strategic business units or products. Are they going to do good in future or not? So market growth rate is the attractiveness in the future of a product or SBU. Okay, so are they going to do good in future? Do they have any future potential or not? Do they have any, will they be working out in future or not? That is your market growth rate. Okay, so let's market growth rate will tell you the future business that you're going to get from the product or a strategic business unit. So high or low growth rate can vary from industry to industry, but the general cutoff is 10%. So when we took this example, hypothetical example, so if Samsung has a growth rate of 13%, that means it has high growth rate. It falls, Samsung mobile suppose have a growth rate of 13%, that means they have a future, they can tap 13% more market in future. Okay, so their growth can be 13% more than what is right now. Okay, so if it is 13%, that is more than 10%, then the growth rate is considered as high. Suppose it is 8%, then the growth rate will be considered as low. Okay, So now this is the elephant in the room, that is the BCG matrix. So we have understood what is relative market share, we have understood what is market growth. So if relative market share is high and the market growth is high, that strategic business unit or that product will be our star product. That is the it will be a star product. That is, the cash flow is high because the market share is high, and the investment will be high because it has future growth rate. That means the market growth rate is also high, right? That means if we invest in it, we can tap that market. Okay, so next is the relative market share is high but the market growth is low. That becomes our cash cow. That means the current cash flow is high but there is no future, there is no growth rate, market growth rate is not there. So there is no point investing in these types of products or SBUs. They are only good for the cashes that they are producing for our organization in current scenario. They do not have any growth. That means whatever market they are tapping, whatever market they are tapping, that market is saturated or matured with the product or SBUs of our organization. So cash flows are good but investment is not required because there is no market growth rate, there is no future potential of this product or SBU. Now relative market share is low and market growth is high. These are our problem child. This question mark is our problem child. So this problem child, that is the question mark, which has low market share but high market growth, that is, it has potential to grow, it can be easily converted in the star. Why? Because it already fulfills one condition of the star, that is, it has a high market share. If invested well and if carefully made a strategical, given it a strategical advantage by investing good in this, then it can create a star performer. It can be a star performer of the organization. So this problem child has to be treated very well and very carefully. So it has low cash flows. Cash flow is low because there's low market share, but investment made should be high. So you will make investment in this problem child only when you feel that this is going to be converted into a star. Okay, so it has a potential of converting into a star. Okay, so next, this is the last quadrant, that is dog. This quadrant has low market share and low market growth. So this the organization tries to divest in this quadrant. That is, if a product or a strategic business unit has low market share, that is, cash flows are low, right? Cash flows are low and also the market growth is low. That is, investment you cannot make any because there is no market growth, that there is no market potential, right? So the organization try to divest or disinvest or liquidify these types of SBUs and products, right? This is dog is the lowest and the worst quadrant to be in for any product or for any strategic business unit. Okay, so let's discuss these all in detail. So star, high growth rate, high share. Companies should significantly invest in these stars as they are they have high future potential. So cash flow that comes from these stars are high and investment that has to be made is high because it has high future growth rate, high growth rate. So future potential is high. Okay, generate large amount of cash due to their high relative market share, but also require large amount of investment to fight competitors and maintain their growth rate. Okay, so this is star for you, star performance of the BCG matrix. Any product that is high growth rate, that is it is doing well today and it has potential to do well in future also. if we invest in it well. Next is cash cow. Eventually, that is, cash cow means cash cow has high uh, relative market share and low market growth rate, right? So eventually, after years of operating in industry, market growth might decline and revenue stagnate. So after market growth might decline, and that is, you saturate a market. If you're selling a pen, that is, first suppose you are in a star quadrant, that is, high shares are there and high growth rate is there. Now you have tapped this growth rate, that is, your market is slowly becoming saturated. You have sold whatever was your market share, you have sold a pen. If you are dealing in a pen, so you have sold a pen to every person in the market. That means the growth rate is slowly declining, because you are tapping the growth rate. Okay, you are tapping the market potential. Okay, so it slowly declines after few years. At this stage, stars are likely to transform into cash cows, because share is big, but growth rate, as you are going to tap the growth rate, it is going to decline. Okay, so cash cow therefore typically generate cash in excess of the amount of cash needed to maintain the business. Here we are saying that cash cow is generating a lot of cash, enormous amount of cash, because the market share is very high and growth rate is low. So because market share is high, so cash inflow would be high, and because this market growth is low, therefore investment will be low, because we don't see any potential. So enormous cash is generated by cash cows. So what we are going to do this, that products or SBUs of cash cow, we are going to milk them for investment in other business units, which are a star business unit, because star business unit has a market growth rate high, that is, market growth is high, and that's why it needs investment. So whatever cash we are generating from the cash cow, we will invest it in stars, or we will invest it in question marks if need be. If the question marks, because question marks also has high growth rate, that's why if we see that it is better to invest in question mark, to make question marks, like we have discussed before, into stars, that means we can invest the excess amount of cash generated from cash cows in either stars or question marks, because they have high growth potential. Okay, so next let's move to question mark. So question mark is a problem child. First, let's do this. Question mark is a problem child. Problem child means that it has more potential, but right now it is not doing anything for that. So the market share is low, but the relative market share is low, but the market growth is high. That means it has potential, but it is not doing anything to tap that potential. Okay, so that is why we are calling the question mark as a problem child. Problem child means that this child is creating problem, this product or this strategic business unit is creating problem for the organization, because it has potential, but it is not giving us as much return right now in the current scenario to our organization, right? So how can we make this problem child, or how can we improve the situation of this problem child, is by investing in it and then realizing that if this problem child can become our star means that a performer that is high relative market share and high growth rate. It already has a high growth rate, so it already fulfills this criteria. If we invest more in it and we tap the market opportunities, we can also have a high market share. Okay, so question mark or a problem child are businesses operating with low market share in the high growth market. They have the potential to gain market share and become stars eventually if managed well. If question marks do not succeed in becoming a market leader, they might degenerate into dogs. So if you don't take care of the problem child and make it into a star, it may convert itself into a dog. Okay, with low, because the problem child has low market share, and if it is not dealt with properly or managed properly, it can convert into a dog. That is, the market potential can also become low. Okay, so a star child has two things. A question mark has two things. It can be either converted into a star performer if managed well, or if not managed well, the product or the strategic business unit can be converted into a dog. So question mark must therefore be analyzed carefully in order to determine whether they are worth the investment. If they are worth the investment, then you should invest in them and make them a star performer. And if they are not worth the investment, you may lead them to become to going to a dog quadrant, required to grow. Okay, if they are not worth investment, then you can make them go into the dog quadrant. It's okay, you can disinvest in them, or you can divest them. Next is our last quadrant, that is a dog quadrant. Low share, low growth. Companies should liquidate, divest, or reposition these pets. That means these types of SBUs and product lines are not giving any benefit to the organization. They have low share and they have low growth rate. They are only meeting the minimum required. They are only meeting the break even, and that's why the company should either liquidate, divest, or reposition these types of SBUs or products. These units typically break even. Okay, they neither create nor consume a large amount of cash. Neither do they create a large amount of cash, nor can we put more cash into them, because they have low market growth. Okay, so they have low market growth and they have low relative market share. Okay, let's move on further. Let's take an example of PepsiCo. Okay, so let's take first cash cow with a market share of 58.8% in the US. Frito-Lay, it is a SBU of strategic business unit of PepsiCo. So Frito-Lay, the Lays and all is the product of Frito-Lay, is the biggest cash cow for PepsiCo. That means Frito-Lay is a cash cow of SBU of PepsiCo, because it is producing a lot of cash, but the market growth is not as much, because the market is already mostly saturated. Okay, with the snacks product, with the Lays, the chips. Okay, that's why cash cow. It is producing, but it is producing a lot of cash because it has a lot of market share. Next, stars. Even though Pepsi's share in the market has been reduced to 8.4%, it's still the star of Pepsi is the star performer of the product. Pepsi is the star performer of the PepsiCo, because it generates the highest amount of cash, and also it has a future potential of market growth rate is also high. Okay, that is why Pepsi is the star of the PepsiCo company. Question mark, since it's a mystery whether the diet food, so diet food may have a future potential because of the increasing obesity rate in the market, in the country. That's why it has a future potential, but it is a question mark, because right now the market share is very low. Okay, so that's why diet food for PepsiCo becomes the question mark. Dogs, as of now there isn't any product line that falls in the dog section of the PepsiCo's BCG matrix. However, seasonal products like PepsiCo, they create new Lay's flavors. Okay, they create new type of like products like Pepsi Real Sugar. So these kind of may or may not work, they break even, and that's why they may fall in dog category of PepsiCo. So this was all about the BCG matrix with an example of a company. So I hope you've understood it, and I hope you will remember it and do well. Thank you.